Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back. I would have been live a lot earlier, but my boy Coach Greg Adams, if you haven't watched him before, go check out Coach Greg Adams on YouTube and also subscribe to Ask Coach Greg Adams. Just wanted to show some love there. So that's why I haven't been on earlier. I was busy watching his stream. He's got some good content. And something I've been wanting to do for a while, and I've promised that I would do this, and I'm a bit slack with getting to things that I said I would do, but I do eventually get around to them usually. Just wanted to say thank you to the last 4 people that donated to me on PayPal. That's Abigail, Harry, Ricardo, and Stacy. Appreciate all of you. Now, I wanted to talk to you about a conversation that I had the other day. Now, there's an article that I'm going to share with you today, and there's a conversation that I had, and there's an observation crossed with a conversation that I had. So, I'm going to start with the title, all right? And the title of today's videos is something to the effect of, I've already forgotten exactly what I wrote specifically, but it was why women are as dangerous as the men they're attractive to. So what do I mean by that? So what I mean by that is women are attracted to dangerous men. They are. And there's no amount of convincing you can do otherwise that's going to prove to me something to the contrary that is the majority of the case. Thank you to Jazz Jackson for that $10 donation. I appreciate you, man. I saw you in Coach Greg Adams' channel as well. Now, I don't know, guys. I'm going to leave this one up to you. Type 1 if you want me to talk about the conversation that a lady had with me about her 11-year-old daughter and the accusations the daughter made, or if you want me to read the story about the university lecturer that made up false allegations against herself. So, university lecturer 2, 11-year-old girl 1. Type in the comments, let me know what you want first out of those 2 stories. Rory the Swagger Husky, thank you for your £10 donation, brother. He said, what's your opinion on abortion? That's an interesting one. My opinion on abortion is that, I think I need to do a video on that one. Rory. Let me just let me screenshot that for a future topic, because that's a rabbit hole. That's 20 minutes. That's half an hour on that one. All right, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the 2s. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the 1s. All right, university lecture first. It is. So for those of you who voted 2, you won by 1 point. UTS lecturer, that's University of Technology, Sydney. Not me, Sydney, but Sydney, the city I live in. Which, by the way, fucking hell, look at the fire. Look at the fires up in this bitch. Shit's crazy. Yep, there we go. That's got it. All right, academic at prestigious Sydney University is accused of harassing herself after reporting fake threatening letters to police. A UTS dean at 49 claimed she was getting threatening letters at work. Tell me more. Gotta hear this bullshit. A professor at UTS has been charged after allegedly faking a 4-month-long harassment campaign against herself. The 49-year-old academic, so a PhD holder. By the way, guys, if any chick tells you they've got their PhD in anything but engineering, that stands for permanent head damage. The 49-year-old academic who served as the dean... She's the dean of science. Right? This is the person who's teaching people science from the top down. No wonder people think there's fucking 100 and something genders when only one gender has a penis and one has a vagina, and then a few really, really unfortunate people, a tiny minority, have both. But yet there's still only penises and vaginas. Why are we not seeing other stuff going on? Because there's 2 genders, male and female, and intersex, which is a combination of the 2. That's it. And Intersex doesn't mean, oh, I feel like a woman and a man. It's like, no, you have a dick and you have a vagina. That's intersex. So anyway, this chick's the Dean of Science. So she'd served as the Dean of Science since last December, so less than a year. She claimed she was getting threatening letters and that her clothes were being stolen from her backyard. But police arrested her on campus 2 weeks ago after discovering she allegedly fabricated the whole thing. Surprise, freaking surprise. Someone just, Grin Reaper just commented, even STEM has been infiltrated. Yes, but if you're a STEM and PhD now, you haven't yet been through the ringer of the bottom level. It's still somewhat unbastardized, but it's getting there. The saga began in May when the woman told police she had been receiving threatening letters about the cancellation of a university course. Police launched significant security measures to protect her as they investigated. Between May and August, the woman claimed she had got 4 threatening letters. She claimed one letter had been left on her car in Sydney's south alongside items of clothing. Then on September 16th and September 25th, the woman reported 2 more threatening letters from, I wonder who? Herself! The woman was arrested on 15th of November and taken to Day Street Police Station. She was charged with dishonestly obtained financial advantage by deception. What? No! Women would never obtain financial advantage by deception. They would never wear makeup to make a guy think that they were hotter than they actually were. That wouldn't happen. They'd never lie about their background so that they'd appear more favorable to a rich man. No, that would never happen. It's never happened in the history of the earth. And if it happened, no one would ever believe a woman. No, because no one's a simp and a white knight and a fucking feminist family court judge. Jesus. She was charged with dishonestly obtained financial advantage by deception, give false information about a person or property in danger, and false representation resulting in police investigation. And of course, that police investigation is at the taxpayers' cost, you know, gentlemen like myself and yourself, to my fellow Australians in here. But of course, if this situation was over in another country or another state overseas, then you guys in that state that it happened would be paying for that. So we're paying for women's bullshit, we're paying for their health care, we're paying for all of this stuff, and we don't even get to use it. It's ridiculous. Police will allege in court that the woman sent the threatening letters to herself. She was granted bail and is due to appear at Downing Centre Local Court on Wednesday. So I'll put the link to that story in the description below. Now, the 11-year-old girl. I was talking to a fellow security guard the other day. She's very good at her job, so I respect her for what she does. And her daughter is now 28, but apparently was 11 at the time. So guys, just keep in mind, right, we're in 2019, about to click over 2020. This shit happened in 2002. So that's a long time ago. This is before Me Too. This is before all of these teachers having sex with students. Well, actually, no, that's been happening for years, but it's only just coming out now with the advent of the internet and the ease of communication with which people can share these stories. Which, by the way, is something you should do with my videos. If you like them, make sure you share them. But this chick was telling me how her daughter didn't get her way about something. It was something petty. Now, the daughter had been to school and told about child services. So what do you think this conniving little 11-year-old did when she didn't get her way? And no doubt, she had seen other female role models in her life using police and social services leverage over men and over women to get what they want, right? So she's called social services and said, oh, my mum, she pushed me down the stairs and she slammed my finger in the car door and she did this and she did that and she did all these things apparently. This is what the 11-year-old was saying, right? Because like, daddy's little nightmare ends up being daddy's little bitch when daddy's little princess ends up being daddy's little bitch when she gets older. Same with mummy's little princess ends up being mummy's little bitch when she gets older. This is exactly what happened, right? This little girl's obviously been pampered when she was young, had been allowed to get away with anything she wanted. Like, I literally was at a concert last night. Literally, I'm not even kidding, guys. I know feminists and like frat girls and, you know, just basically bimbos throw all sorts of girls throw this around. Like, literally, I was dying. Like, he literally killed my life. Like, you literally kill me. No, that's not that kind of literal. It's actually literal. Like, this happened. I was looking down over the crowd, and at this particular venue, there's a front barrier just before the stage, and there's a center barrier, so halfway down the actual the dance floor at the bottom. And for anyone who knows which venue this is, don't spoil it for anyone else. I'd like to remain somewhat anonymous at some point in time. By the way, I'm going to block the word of that venue from any comments after this. So if anyone thinks they're going to comment on this afterwards and expose me, then don't. Anyway, I'm getting way off track here. Some of you guys are going to know which venue this is, so you know what I'm talking about. And there's this center barrier, and this guy was standing there with his girlfriend. He's like, look, if we stand here, there's gonna be no one bumping into us from the front, plus we can rest on this, plus we've got a clear view of over there. And I could see all the hand gestures, and she was like, please, I want to go over the house, please. Nah. Like, she was behaving like a child. I mean, not that that's a surprise, but emotional women are children. They really are. And guys, when we get emotional, we're not the most rational people either, which is why it's so important to maintain a logical frame. Maintain a frame devoid of emotion when we're dealing with problems and looking for solutions, man. So this chick's stamping her feet. She's doing a little wriggle, like, oh, I want to go over there. She's doing the hands, and she's crying, like she's pulling out all stops. She's pulling out everything in the little bratty female playbook to try and get up the fucking front. Anyway, the boyfriend eventually won, and eventually she realized that she wouldn't have been able to see shit had she been down there, because all of the people would have been jumping around in front of her and would have been too tall for her. And then she was like kissing him and appreciative. And this is why we as men, particularly for those of you in relationships, you must lead. It's imperative. You have to. If you do not lead in your relationship, you're going to get ditched. You're going to get fucked over. I'm telling you, right? This is not some theory that I just fucking whipped up out of thin air. Like, I've lived this shit. I know how it works. I've been through it. I've applied it. Don't believe me? Go ask Coach Greg Adams. Go ask Terrence Popp. Go ask any of the well-respected men in the manosphere. I'll tell you the exact same thing. You know why? Because we have the experience to back up our claims, just like I do. Anyway, this 11-year-old girl, she called up the helpline, and she called up child service. Oh, my mom did this and that. Anyway, the police came and they took me down to the police station. She's like, oh, my mom did this. You know, she's trying to get back at her mum for her mum being mean by saying no to her, which, by the way, is the most important word in the English language. You guys should use it and stick to it whenever you do use it. Don't fucking say no and then, like, don't say no and then do yes. Say no and do no, right? Because women will not respect you, men will not respect you, your parents will not respect you at the level they would if you're not a man of your word. Sorry, yeah, they won't respect you at the level they would if you're a man of your word, if you're not a man of your word. You know what I'm saying? Don't think too hard about that. It's pretty common sense. So they go down to the police station, and this lady was being they had the daughter in this room, and they had the mum in this room, and they read out this whole big ass list, like this shit's dropping down to the floor, you know. It's like, she did this, you know, she did this to me, she did this. And the mum was like, look, I accidentally slammed her car in her fingers in the car door yesterday, yes, because, you know, I closed it when her hand was still in the way. That's my bad, you know, I put some ice on it, I did what I could. But all this other shit, that's just crap. She just wanted to go to this party and I didn't let her go, probably because she knew that the daughter would be getting up to shit she shouldn't be getting up to if she went to the party, but that's another story. And essentially what ended up happening is that it was kind of like the daughter was like, well, she did this, and the mum's like, well, I didn't fucking do this. The mum's like, all right, cool, take her. Right? If she's that upset about me accidentally slamming the car door on her finger, that she wants to leave home and she wants to be removed from the home by way of protective services and child custody, take her. Teach her a lesson. So they drove from this one police station to the next. Guess what? Surprise, surprise. The girl didn't think that she was actually going to get taken away. She thought her mum was going to get in trouble. But the girl got taken away into custody, into the custody of family services. Apparently this girl, when the mum was like, let her go, take her, the police are like, all right, we'll take her. Put her in the back of the police car. By the time she got from one police station to the other, it was a 20-minute drive. She was her eyes were so puffy from crying and screaming and bawling her eyes out that she could barely open her eyes. Her whole entire face was soaked with tears. You know, her clothes and her sleeves and her arms were all wet with tears. She'd gone through half a box of tissues. Her nose was all snotty. She's like sniffling and shit, you know, like I have done in the past when I got a runny nose or like itchy nose, but it's not because I'm upset, it's just because I had an itchy nose, right? But yeah, she was like well upset. Anyway, they got to the other end. Surprise, surprise. Daughter wants to come home. Wow, mum mustn't have been that abusive after all, hey? Gotta stand your fucking ground and hold people accountable for consequences. One of my buddies, one of my very good buddies, he was talking to me just the other day about how he's having issues with his girlfriend because, you know, every single time that something's going on with them, it's always on him. So, you know, he'll have a situation where, say, like the other day, she had to go for her driving lesson. My mate's like, man, you know, I don't understand why it's up to me to, you know, always back her up on this stuff. Like, I care about her, so I do this stuff for her because, you know, I don't want to see her fall flat in the face. I was like, man, look, the best thing you can do for her is watch her fall flat on her face. Let her pick herself up. Let her know that she can pick herself up. If she needs advice on how to pick herself up, say, look, this is how you could pick yourself up if you wanted to, and let her do it. Don't be a crutch for women, right? If you're a crutch for women and you simply let them do things for you, not only, and guys, I know there's some of you going to be watching this video right now being like, shit, man, I did everything for my wife for 30 years and then she left. Now she doesn't know how to look after herself. Now she wants all this child support from me to pay for a housekeeper, to pay for a gardener, to pay for this, to pay for, you know, a mechanic, to do this, to do that, to do all the stuff I used to do for her. And she got rid of me and I could have just done it for her. I was like, oh, I'm sorry, man. You did too much for her, right? You gotta, as men, if we choose to be in a relationship, if we choose to be in a marriage, if we're already in one and we've taken the red pill and we're like, shit, man, I'm gonna crash and burn if I don't learn this stuff. What we have to do is we have to teach our women how to feed themselves. And we have to learn how to be masculine men. I even launched a new website the other day. It's called testosteronevalley.com. Because so many of us have low testosterone, and it's that lack of testosterone which causes us to have non-masculine features or lack thereof, right? So we know testosterone increases our libido, it makes us want to have sex more. It helps to increase our muscle mass by way of aiding muscle growth. It helps to repair muscles quicker, right? It helps to give us a faster metabolism, to shred the fat. So we've got better bodies, we've got more strength, we have more physical presence, we have deeper voices, right? This is why men are leaving, because we haven't looked after ourselves. We haven't said no, we haven't stood our ground. We haven't looked after our own testosterone levels. right? And we can't just blame women for everything. Yeah, there's some shit they're at fault for, but they're just slaves to their biology, men. We've at least got this to think with, and we need to do that for our own sakes. And those of you who are not thinking with your head, who are going, well, you know, yeah, I'm in a relationship, but she's the one causing the problems. It's like, yeah, but you're the one not leading. And I hate to break it to you, but that's the fucking reality. And as soon as I realized that, I had a whole paradigm shift in my life. My fellow men respected me even more. Even people that didn't want anything to do with me before. They're like, hey, actually, I got a bit of respect for you now. Like, I see what you're doing. I respect that. Right? Women respect me more. My parents respect me more. The people I work alongside respect me more. All of these things add up and you have to do it for yourself. So that conversation that I had with that lady about her 11-year-old daughter was right before a competition of sorts that involved men who were very physically strong, muscular, big built. You know, like these guys, you just, they're powerful. You do not want to fuck with them. They are dangerous men. Now, what do I mean by dangerous? Because I saw a video the other day about, you know, how people just assume that gang members are dangerous. Well, most of them are because they stay pretty fit, right? But what makes them dangerous is that they'll protect their tribe, even if it means death. That's the extent that they'll go to. And that's the same thing that I mean when I talk about dangerous men, because look, all men are dangerous with the right tools at our disposal. All women are dangerous with the right tools at our disposal, right? This is the thing. And by the way, guys, I just wanted to say thank you for all your super chats. I'm going to attend to all those in a moment. Appreciate you, man. So I had to basically watch a particular area of the venue, and this guy came up to me, and this guy was like fucking ripped. Like, man, I can't even, I cannot compete. Like, I'm piss weak compared to this guy, right? Like, I know that my testosterone's not where it should be at, which is why I want to work on it. That's why I set up my website. Like, the supplements I sell, and they basically help you to create the ideal conditions for testosterone growth so that your own body can produce it. It's not just like a testosterone injection. Now, this guy comes up to me and he goes, man, I just noticed that you really observe people, like you're very observant. I was like, oh, thanks, man, thanks for observing that. And what I'd been observing, I didn't quite communicate with him at that moment in time. So when he actually exited the venue later and I was at the door, I said, I was like, hey man, look, I just wanted to say thanks for pointing out that you noticed that I was really observant before. And I just wanted to share a little bit with you about why I'm actually being so, like what it was that I was observing. And he goes, what's that? And I was like, you know, I noticed that in this sport with this level of elite physical fitness, the crowd is generally quite fit. And there's almost no overweight women compared to what I'm used to at other venues and other events. Almost none, right? And he laughed and he's like, yeah, that's true. Before I continue, I just want to read these super chats because otherwise I'm gonna go off on a tangent. Omega Legion says, if a man can, so can a woman with enough motivation. That's 100% correct. But the motivation is the key. What's your driver? Henry Ruiz, $4.99. I appreciate you, man. Thank you. 510 Ralph Wiggum, one of my OGs from right at the start of this channel. Papa Join's wife just filed for divorce. Going your own way. Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. And yeah, thank you, Ralph Wiggum, one of my moderators. PayPal.me/Sydney McTubbs, my PayPal link. I appreciate you sharing that, man. And I said to this guy, I said, so that's the first thing I noticed, because, and I said, I can only think there's a few reasons for that. The first is that guys with this elite level of fitness and strength, right? This with elite level of fitness and strength, they can pick and choose the women they want. They can pick and choose, right? Because they're at the top tier, they're at the top level. They get to have whoever they want. And I think that's important to know. So the second thing was, well, these guys are just saying no to anyone who's obese. Because if fitness is their top value, which clearly it is, because these guys are fucking rippling, man. Like, their diet is on point. Like, these guys are shredded, ripped, like they're beast. And respect to those men for working on themselves like that. So you've then got these guys who are just saying, no, I don't want a fatty. I don't want someone who doesn't value their health the same way that I do. And you have to, if you're going to be with someone, you have to be with someone who's aligned with your values. It's just the nature of the Beast Brothers. And I said to him, so that's my theory on that. I said, something that I also noticed as well is high quality men, high quality women, they're very attracted to dangerous men. And I said to them, I'm like, look, bro, I can see you're dangerous. The guys in here, they're dangerous, right? This is the problem. Women are attracted to dangerous men. But what's happening is these women, particularly with the feminist mindset, with the mind virus, they're actually then, right? They are actually then pushing these men to their limits, right? They're pushing these men to their limits, right? They are pushing these men over the cusp of what they'll tolerate, right? And look, as a man, I'm a fucking gentle giant, man. Like, I'm not gonna go hurting anyone. But by God, if I have a family and you fuck with my family, I'll just, there's an animal in me. There's something deep down in my soul. It's just this fire, and I just got a firewall. I don't let that stuff out. But there's no amount of firewall inside me. There's no amount of lion heart that's going to be held back from me protecting my family with every fiber of my being. So that's what I mean by a dangerous man. And if you can't protect your family, you're not a dangerous man. And if you're not a dangerous man, women are not attracted to you. This is biology. This is I don't know how many thousands of years of evolution at play. This is how many thousands of years of evolution are at play. You've got people that for generations and generations and generations, the women have been attracted to the powerful men, the men that can look after them, the men that can keep them safe. And if these men do not keep their partner safe, or the partner doesn't feel safe, it's not happening, man. And if you're someone that a girl perceives as dangerous and they pursue you, and maybe she's a good girl, maybe she's traditional, maybe she cooks for you, looks after you, and you're like, man, I found myself a unicorn. The next thing that happens, if you decide you're gonna let yourself go, if you decide you're gonna let your testosterone levels drop, if you decide you're gonna become a simp and start saying yes to everything, they're not gonna respect you anymore. God Botherer, one of my trusty admins, says, I knew there was a reason I gave you a wrench, God Brother. Says, I was a dangerous street racer and women weren't attracted to that. They preferred the drug dealing tattooed thugs. Good Christian girls are secret sluts. And they are. Like, I can't even tell you, there was one day, this was before I took the red pill and understood what's really going on. I saw this girl at this shop and I started flirting with her, and we were vibing, we had something going on, we're texting back and forth. Anyway, when she sensed that I started to get there and I made a move, she pulled the brakes on. She pulled the brakes on hard. She's like, oh, I'm a born again Christian. I'm not like that anymore. Bullshit, you're not like that. I just wasn't masculine enough in the way that I presented myself for you to be like that. That's all that was. That was her easy way out. That was her way of saying, well, I don't want to admit that I think you're a pussy, but I think you're a bit of a pussy. That was what she was saying. And you know what? And she was right. She was right at the time. It's exactly what it was at the time. I guarantee you, if that same situation played out again, there'd be two things happen. B. I'm gonna start with B because I'm saving the best for last, right? B, I would be the type of guy that she would want to bang. Right? I would not be the pussy. Right? I would be the masculine man. And A, I wouldn't even go there to begin with because her ass was fat. That's just some real talk here, right? Honestly, guys, all we want is a woman who's not a crazy bitch and who's not fat. Like, if a woman can get those two things right, it's like 80% of what we want. Don't be a land whale, don't be a cunt. Like, how hard is that? Well, it is actually very fast. It is actually quite hard if we're dealing with feminists. And I respect my brothers out there that like a bit more chunk. But that's also a double-edged sword for you brothers. And the reason that's a double-edged sword is because if women are obese, what other areas of their life do they have no self-control in? Just put it out there. Just do it a Neil deGrasse Tyson, but a little less black. I'm just saying, guys, that's just some real talk. That's how it operates. That's how it's always operated. Right? The chubby girls with the big fat obese land whales, right, that are chowing down on fucking potato chips and hot chips and, you know, like ladling on the mayonnaise whenever there's a salad going on. They're like, salad? Oh no, give me some mayonnaise with a few leaves, right? Those particular women that just consistently obese when they were younger were the women that are 50 and single with a gender studies degree. Because their parents were like, shit, man, you know, no man's gonna want to marry you. Well, hell, we don't want to see you homeless when we're dead, so we better send you off to university so you can get a degree so you can look after yourself. And that's why you're seeing so many of these old, overweight, unattractive gender studies uni lecturers. Because that's been the only job they've been able to get their whole lives, because they have no self-control for anything about being a victim. Other than being a victim, that is. No, I'm just gonna show some love to the people that have just dropped a few super chats. Talbot Links, just some change for the pot. Cheers, thank you, brother. I appreciate that, Talbot. Love seeing you in the videos, man. You're always generous. Dragonfire says, showing you a little support. Keep up with your great job. I will, Dragonfire, man. I appreciate that. And man, this fire outside is crazy. It's 36 degrees Celsius outside right now. That's hot. Look, I gotta tell you guys, I know the majority of you are in the US, so I'm just gonna convert that. If I have a converter on this, no, I got, you know what, just 36 degrees Celsius to Fahrenheit. Check it out online. I don't know off the top of my head right now. If one of you guys can drop that in the box, that'd be appreciated. So man, look, I don't know what else to say. Guys, you gotta say no. You have to say no, and you have to stick to it. You have to understand and know the shit tests. Don't fall for the bait and switch. Right? A lot of women are like, oh, and Coach Greg Adams just talked about this in his last video. He talked about this in his last video where he was saying that women will promise you something, and then they'll say, well, if you do this for me, I'll do this for you. If you do this for me, I'll give you some of the peace leave. I love the way he says that. So you then do that for them, and they're like, oh no, peace leave's closed for the day, bad boy. I already got what I want. That's Brifault's law, baby. Brifaults law. Brifault's law. 96.8 degrees Fahrenheit outside. Ooh, it's warm. And Godspeed, Kelsey says, little cushion for pushing is good, too much is stinky, 100%. Thank you for your $2 Canadian donation. So yeah, if they're baiting you with the peace leave and saying, oh, I'll give you this if you give me that. I mean, the amount of simps I see on these reality shows. eMan67 did a really good video on it the other day. If you haven't seen eMan67, my boy, go check him out on YouTube. He's got some good candid stuff. And he was sharing an article on this guy who'd spent $40,000 on a Ukrainian bride who kept, over the course of multiple years, he was putting everything on that relationship. She's like, oh, I love you, baby. As soon as he mentioned let's meet up, she was like, it's a bit cold at the moment. Maybe we should wait till summer. It's like, yeah, how much more cash are you gonna get out of him between now and summer? Yeah, that's what I thought. Another 10, 15 grand. Then you'll fuck him off when he tries to come over. Be like, oh, you know, I'm just not feeling it anymore. Because guys, every relationship that women get into, every interaction that they have socially, and most of their policies that they make in the workplace, all based around feelings. Don't be fooled. Even things that seem logical, there's usually an emotional like pull behind it. And like shit, man, I saw an article the other day. They were saying for every female on the board of directors, the profitability goes down like 12% or something because they're risk averse. And there's nothing wrong with being risk averse to an extent, but women, they're not wired to take risk. They're wired for safety. That's why they want to get married. That's why they want social programs. That's why they want affirmative action for women. Right? That's why they want to be able to make accusation against men, but not the other way around. Right? Because that grants them a level of safety that they don't get otherwise. Grants them a level of security. Because women are creatures that are looking for security. And it doesn't matter how much we say, well, you shouldn't be like that. Well, hey, they're trying to tell us how we shouldn't be. It's not going to change us, is it? So it doesn't work either way. We need to look at the root cause, which is the indoctrination in the education system and the media. Man, every time I turn on the TV, I'm like, man, I think I need to go for chemotherapy, you know what I mean? No disrespect to anyone with cancer, but it's like, it is honestly, it's cancer of the brain with respect to the information that we store, our worldview. Godbrother says, as a gun owner, I'm afraid of being in a relationship. As a woman can cry domestic violence, and I lose my guns for at least 10 years. That's what's happening all the time, guys. And women know it too. Like, they know that they've got you by the balls. Because all you have to do is hurt their feelings, and if you've got guns and you love your guns, they're like, I know how to get that fucking prick. I know how to get at him. I'll make them take his guns away. Yeah, then he'll learn his lesson. It's like, what lesson is that going to teach us other than we now want to beat the fuck out of you, even though we won't? But this is just how it is, guys. No lies, just reality. Guys, we've got 111 of you in the live chat. Sorry, we've got 111 thumbs up, 235 in the live chat. Smash the thumbs up, man. Smash it like Kate Mulvey smashed the wall. That's been requested for a comeback, by the way. I gotta find the wig and the glasses. Guys, I want to leave you on that note. Avoid Christmas parties. Have your own Christmas party with just men. Have a male-only Christmas party, right? But don't call it that. Just get a bunch of guys together and be like, hey guys, do you want to like have a little Christmas get-together? Don't mention work. Just go, hey guys, I don't really get to hang out with you much at work. I'm not going to the Christmas party because I don't want to get a Me Too. That said, I figure maybe I can hang out with you guys outside of the workplace, outside of the work environment, outside of the rules that are enforced upon us by this feminocracy, by these HR professionals that are just feminists in disguise, who let women get away with everything and hold men accountable for everything, which of course is complete bullshit, but that's the only way that they'll really function properly. Whatever, it is what it is, man. Don't fight it. Just understand how it works and work within the framework and get the best outcomes for yourself within the framework. Right, here's the thing. And this applies to me as well, not just you guys. Everything that happens in your life is your fault in some way or another. Everything. Hear me out here. Every decision you've made up until this point has taken you to where you are right now. Yes, there were some things that were outside of your control. Yes, some of you were abused by your family. That's something you can't control. But you can control how you respond to it. Right? You can control how you move through and navigate situations. That's what you can control. Everything from this skin layer back, you have complete control on. Right, so take opportunities, take leadership, right? Own responsibility, but don't allow people to put their own failures on you. If there was something you could have done, just go, you know what? If I had this opportunity again, I would have suggested to you to do this to help you out. But don't say, yeah, that was my fault, because it wasn't your fault. Take responsibility for your own shit and make other people take responsibility for theirs, man or woman. Anyway, gentlemen, I appreciate you so much. Thank you to all of you 226 in the box right now for joining in. It's so good to see you all. Thank you to everyone who's dropped a super chat. Thank you to those at the start of the video I mentioned who have previously dropped PayPal donations. If you want to donate on PayPal, paypal.me/CityMGTOW. There's Patreon and also Subscribestar and crypto links in the link below. If you want to support me and you like Chrome browser, but you don't want to lay down any shekels, you can also help out, support this channel by going to the link in the description below, downloading Brave browser with that link. You can download Chrome extensions. It's based off the Chromium backend. So it works like Chrome, but with all of the security protections so that you don't have adware and spyware tracing everything. And if you do want to get yourself a VPN, because I know in Victoria, they're going to start actually monitoring internet traffic. And you know what Victoria is like? It's just the cuck state of Australia. You're going to need something to protect you from that. Browse with a VPN. Set your TV browsing to a VPN. You know, you can do all this stuff because it's just so important that we go under the radar, because right now we are under attack. You know we are. Men. We're not even disputing this. So head on over to sydneymgtow.com/purevpn if you want to get yourself a VPN and help support this channel. All right, guys. And also head on over to sydneymgtow.com/books. sydneymgtow.com/books. Get your copy of the Testosterone Advantage Plan today to help boost your testosterone levels. If you want to check out my new website and check out the supplements I've got on offer, which are amazing, and I've got mine on the way, testosteronevalley.com, and see what I got to say. Still working on that website. It's in its infancy, but I'm going to build that into something that all of us men can be proud of. I appreciate you all. Thanks for jumping in. Share this video, smash the thumbs up, and make sure you comment. Peace. And I just noticed this a moment ago before I close off this chat. Talbot Links, $5 donation, says the word consequence is neutral. You decide the nature of those you face. 100%. 100%. Thank you for that, Talbot Links. You're right. I'm out, guys. See ya.